Hi, I'm Melanie from Nova Scotia, Canada, and this is Adventures in Groceryland. This is the week 2 meal video of the $21 grocery budget challenge we are doing in 2024. There are two of us. We each have a $21 budget, so our total cash budget together is $42. We are looking to show that even on a meager budget, with planning and work, you can eat well and you can also accumulate a pantry moving forward. And that's really important because as you start to accumulate a pantry, things become easier. As the weeks go on and your pantry increases, things become much, much easier. We also want to increase our buying power. So $42 cash, okay, great, but I want to be able to get more groceries than just what $42 will buy me. Some of the strategies that we use are using coupons, using store incentive programs. So of course, on this challenge, we will use points that we accumulate while we're on the challenge, but we won't use any points that we've accumulated before the challenge started. We are also looking at flyers. We will meal plan, and we will look for in-store markdowns and special exclusive store deals. All of those things can increase your buying power and allow you to get so much more for your actual cash money. We started the challenge with basically nothing. We do have a few items that we consider free. They are salt and pepper. I have some random spices that I have dehydrated myself. We have anything that I've preserved myself. And of course, we tried to do a purge just before this challenge started, and we cleared out almost all of our perishable items. I did have a little bit of yogurt left over, and we had a little bit of fresh minced garlic. So those came forward into the challenge because I just can't justify getting rid of them, nor can I justify buying new when we still have those in the fridge. So those came forward into the challenge as well. Everything else we are buying. So at the end of this video, you will see everything that we have purchased and left over from weeks 1 and weeks 2. So we have eaten, we have spent, what's it, 42 and 42, 84. We spent $84. We've eaten for 2 weeks, and you'll see at the end what we have left. Thanks for tuning in. When your budget is extremely tight, having a plan is really, really beneficial. So last week, I pre-prepped breakfasts, which worked really well for us, and we ate the same thing every day. We were happy with that, and that was fine. So I wanted to do that again this week, but thinking something different than what we had last week. And I was really, really, really on the fence about getting this muffin mix, but I decided to get it for 2 reasons. Okay, so you see on the bottom here, 24. Well, there's 7 days in a week and there's 2 of us. That means that we need to have 14 muffins if we're going to have a muffin for breakfast each day. And if we wanted to be able to do this again on a future week, I'd need to have an additional 14. That totals 28. All right. So I need to get 28 muffins out of this instead of 24. And then when you think, what other ingredients do I need? And for this, which is why I ended up getting this in the first place, the only other ingredient that you need is water. So when you can buy a mix that has everything included, when you say this, you can buy pancake mix that you need to add milk, or you can buy pancake mix that you need to add water. Why would you buy the one with milk when the one with water tastes just fine? So it's the same with something like this. When you really don't need to add anything else, that is ideal. So I knew I had carrots left over. I knew they weren't in great shape, but I thought carrots would go great, kind of like a morning glory muffin in with oatmeal. And then this wasn't purposeful, but last week, one of the days, we just totally forgot to eat breakfast, and I ended up with a half an apple. So I thought if I grate these up and I add the 2 carrots and the half of the apple into the muffin mix, that will bulk up the muffin mix, and instead of getting 12, so I want to use half the package for this week, and instead of getting 12, I'll be able to get 14 muffins out of it, and then in some future week, I'll be able to use the other half of the package and hopefully have something that I can add in to the muffin mix to bulk it up at that point. That will again give me 14. So that's what we're going with. This is the plan. So we are not going to waste a single thing. I'm going to leave the skin on because if I peel these, I'm going to lose a bunch of the apple. I just washed these really, really well and cut the tops off. Same thing. I'm going to leave the skin on. We are going to use a food processor to grate these, and let's get baking. All right, apple and carrots. So we actually weighed out half of the package, 450 grams. Adding 1 cup of water, and the apple and carrot. We'll get this mixed up. There's the possibility I might have to add more liquid, but we'll see how this goes. This turned out really, I think, quite good. I didn't add any extra liquid. I am going to use these 2 muffin forms. So 6 and 6 is 12, and I don't have any other muffin forms. So whatever batter we have left, I'm going to put in this little mini loaf pan, and then for one breakfast, we can just split that in half. So I got definitely the 12, this much left for in the little mini loaf pan. I think that these are going to turn out great. And how nice do these look? Exciting. Breakfast for 2, hearty oatmeal carrot, apple muffins. I'm calling them morning glory muffins. This is so freaking good. I know I'm going to have a hard time forcing the handsome one to leave these for breakfasts. All right, I think the smart thing to do is for me to make a plan so that these are not gone and we still have them for breakfasts. This will be tomorrow's breakfast and then Sunday's breakfast. I have these 2 frozen separately. I'm going to be away for work Monday morning and Tuesday morning. So I'm going to freeze these, and then I'll just be able to take them with me so that I will have these when I'm on the road. And then I'm going to freeze these ones together. The handsome one will be eating alone on Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll be back eating breakfast together Wednesday and Thursday. But just to ensure that these are still here, we will freeze them. I think that's smart. Smoothies for lunch. I forgot I had this little bit of yogurt carried over as a free item. I'm going to throw a spoonful of that in as well. Berry banana smoothies for lunch. We are going to make a pizza, woo, for supper tonight. I was running an errand, and the handsome one made the pizza dough. This is a half a batch of pizza dough, so it's going to be a thin crust pizza. We're going to use homemade pizza sauce, so that's a free item that we have. Preserves. We have this hot honey smoky. This is leftover chicken. We've got mushrooms, onions, peppers. We have a free item, which is the hot pickled peppers. And this is the only thing that I bought new this week, and it is cheese. Our first use of cheese. I'm very excited to have cheese, and I'm going to keep saying cheese because I really like cheese and I'm happy about it. All right, we've got the dough spread and the sauce on. This is looking pretty good. All I need to do is add on the cheese. So we got mushrooms. I decided to add broccoli on because why not? I have it. I've got the hot honey smoky, chicken, peppers, so red fresh peppers, and then the pickled peppers, and onions, and that's it. I love watching the cheese bubble. This turned out so amazing. I'm so excited. I can't believe we have cheese and pizza on week 2. Very, very happy. 2 happy people tonight. We've got these beans soaking in water, and we are going to soak these overnight because tomorrow we are going to make the chili. Breakfast today, we will split this mini oatmeal carrot apple loaf. That looks pretty even, right? Yesterday we had our first smoothie with the coconut milk. Turns out we don't love coconut milk. We don't hate it, but we would probably never choose to buy it again, even if it was 47 cents or 49 cents. So we are going to try to make, like, the smoothie wasn't horrible. It just was not quite to my taste. So today we're going to do two things different. I only used half the banana yesterday, so I'm going to use the other half of that. We are going to add the rest of this jam, this opened jam, and because there's some sugar in that, and I'm going to add maybe a spoonful of honey just to sweeten this up a bit. Yeah, so we'll see if we like it a little bit better today. Smoothies for lunch today. Hopefully we like these ones just a bit more. This is what the black beans look like from soaking overnight. That's great. Awesome. I have the beans. I've drained them, rinsed them. This is a clean, fresh water, and we are going to bring this to a boil, and we are just going to cook the beans for about 45 minutes or so till I feel like they're tender enough to go in the chili. First thing we needed to do was separate out the meat. The pork loin is separated now into 2 packages. The ground beef is separated into a half a pound, a half a pound, a half a pound, and there was approximately an additional 1/4 pound. That will go with some other ground beef that I already had in the freezer. I'm going to use that to make a separate meal, and the total of those two combined, what I previously had and what was left over from my club pack, is going to be just over a half a pound, but it won't be 3/4 pound. For the chili that I am making today, this is just over a 1/4 pound, and this is just over a 1/4 pound. This is the older hamburger patty that we had frozen in the freezer. And together, we are going to use this to make chili. I am also going to use an onion, the older mushrooms that I have, and probably all of the rest of the mushrooms. I don't know, maybe I might save one mushroom out. Peppers. I have this frozen corn. I will add some of that in. And here's my chili powder, and I'm going to add lentils in as well. I think maybe half of the lentils that I have here, just to bulk up the chili a little bit more than what the just over half a pound of ground beef will be. All right, I have in here the ground beef, the onions, and the peppers, and the mushrooms. And I didn't save any mushrooms out. I used all of them. Let's get this cooked, and then we can get it in the pot. One thing that I didn't bring out before is the canned tomatoes. Of course, that is going to go, that's the main ingredient in the chili with the rest of this stuff, and we'll get it all together in a pot. And by then, hopefully the beans will be done cooking, and we can add those in as well with the spices, the lentils, and the corn. So this is the ground beef and all of the vegetables. I've transferred it into a pot. I am adding in the tomatoes. And let's give this a really good stir. Mix everything up. And this can start simmering while we're waiting for everything else. And everything else, I do still need to cook the lentils, and the beans are still cooking. I need to get the spices in here. It's looking good. Very good. This is looking really great so far. I'm going to get it on the stove, and all we're waiting for now is the beans and the lentils. I put in about half of the chili powder. So I've got this much left, and I'll do a taste test as it's cooking, and if I need more, I will. Of course, I'm willing to use up to all of it, but if I don't need it all, then I'll have a little bit of chili powder left for whatever, something. I added some water, and now I'm adding in the cooked beans. Let's get these stirred in as well. Now we're really looking good. Great. This looks awesome. And now we'll get the lentils cooking in the pot that I just took the beans out of. The lentils are just cooking away here. They are the last thing that I need to go in the chili. And here we go. Lentils in. I'll do a better pot scraping when I don't have to hold the camera as well. We'll get these stirred in, and they don't affect the flavor whatsoever at all, but they do bulk up the quantity of food you have and will make your meal stretch a bit farther. Don't do what I did the very first time that I tried to add lentils into something. It was a spaghetti sauce, and I was not using any meat at all. It was a fully plant-based spaghetti sauce, and I wanted to bulk it up by adding in lentils. And so I just put the dry lentils in the sauce while it was cooking. I didn't cook them first. Oh man, they were a little al dente, a little crunchy. You live and learn. Now I use them fairly regularly, and it's a really big budget stretcher. Chili for supper tonight, and I'm very happy with the quantity that this made. We are going to get, for sure, 2 full suppers out of this. There's going to be a lunch or 2, and there's still going to be some left over that if we wanted to do a smaller kind of thing like chili cheese fries or chili cheese, freeze it, and maybe next week chili cheese nachos, something like that. This was a very, very good, frugal, and I got a lot of value, a lot of food out of the ingredients that I used. I'm going to try to work this out. So it was $1.77 for the tomatoes and $1.18 for the lentils, the chili powder, which I used the entire amount of chili powder, and the black beans. So $1.77, $2.77, $2.85. And then I used about a half a pound of ground beef. So let's say another $2.25. So $2.85, $4.85, let's say $5.15. And then I did add in corn, mushrooms, and peppers. So let's say the peppers were cheap. I got those crazy cheap. Let's say $6. Let's say $6 for this. And out of it, we are getting 2 nights of meals for sure. So that's 4 meals. Definitely a lunch, and then leftovers for something else. I think that's phenomenal for about $6. Very good value for our money, for our extreme budget money. Muffins for breakfast today. Smoothies for lunch again today. I'm going to use a half a banana, yogurt, coconut milk, the berry blend, and we're going to use jam again. That worked actually really, really well. I used the last of the Hascap jam. We liked the smoothies yesterday a lot better than the day before. So because I used the last of the Hascap jam, I need to open a new one, and I decided to go with strawberry because it's older. It's the oldest jam I have in the cupboard. So we'll start to get that used up. I want to show how impressed I am with these berries. They are really nice big raspberries, like you can see, blackberries and blueberries. Of course, there's strawberries in there, but it's just I feel like it's really good quality. Berry smoothies for lunch today. I am going to make tuna helper for supper. We are looking to get 2 suppers out of this, so we'll probably serve it with bread, buttered bread or toast, and I'm also going to bulk up the meal by adding in some of the frozen carrots and some of the frozen peas. As you can see, there's already carrots inside this, so this will be a good match for it. All right, so we have 2 cups of water, 2.5 cups of milk. Add in the noodles, the sauce mix, the tuna, and I'm just going to add the vegetables in it this time too, and then you cook it all together. Adding in the tuna. And I've got carrots and peas in. I used more carrots because I have more carrots. I've already used some of the peas for a meal last week, and I just want to have a little bit left in case I want to have peas. Let's get this cooking. I almost forgot to add the margarine. Good thing I looked at the recipe on the box again. This is just simmering away. Of course, as the noodles cook, they will absorb some of the liquid, but there must be some kind of thickening agent in the powder mix that comes out of the tuna helper that will help to thicken this sauce up. I split the tuna helper up into 4 equal servings. We are going to have one for supper tonight, and I am going to be away from home for work for supper on Monday night, so pre-preparing mine and the Handsome One's meals. Tuna helper for supper tonight, and we are going to make some toast with butter to go with it. I topped it with pepper. We really enjoyed the tuna helper. It was so good. So good. But I do want to talk about that not everything is created equal ingredient-wise. So I happened to get these at 2 different times at Gateway for 97 cents. Each of them were on sale for 97 cents. Phenomenal buy. Of course, it's an amazing buy. But it's kind of like when I talked about the muffin mix earlier this week. The muffin mix, you only required water. But there are other muffin mixes on the market where you require other ingredients like eggs. So it's something that you always need to keep in mind. I was very excited because I was thinking, oh, tuna helper for 97 cents. I can get a can of tuna. If it was on sale, I could get it for $1. It wasn't on sale, so I ended up getting it the cheapest place that I could, which was Walmart, for $1.27. So I was thinking $2.17, $2.15 is what it was going to cost for the meal. However, when you look at the ingredients, not only did this need 2 cups of water, it also needed 2.5 cups of milk, 3 tablespoons of butter. So I used margarine, but thankfully the Handsome One did talk me in to getting margarine with that last little bit of the budget, because I had planned on having this week and I didn't look at the ingredients on the back first. So I don't know, I would have had to use oil or something and then it wouldn't have been the same. But you need to be aware. Milk and butter are expensive, and if you don't have them, this is not going to turn out right. All right, so that's the tuna helper. The hamburger helper, which this one was Italian herb, and they're not all the same, so you have to look on the back of the box. This one, it's ground beef, so of course ground beef is more than what tuna would cost. So I paid, I don't know, the $1.27 for the tuna, and you saw a small amount that comes in a can. The ground beef that I got on sale this week was $4.47 a pound. I definitely wouldn't use a full pound in here. I've got mine split up into half-pound packages. So let's even say $2.50, but the only extra thing that I need is water. So you really need to have an idea of, when you're trying to make things on a really shoestring budget, what else, if you're buying something on sale and it is really cheap, what else are you going to need to make it work? Well, just a thought. I'm going to be gone for 2 lunches away to work, so I am prepping some lunches for the Handsome One to have. He's going to have egg cups. They have in them orange and yellow pepper, broccoli, onions, hot honey smoky, and a little bit of cheese. They're exactly the same. All he'll need to do is crack the egg in it and stir, microwave for 1 minute. So I just wanted to make sure that things were easy, and that we're still eating, stuff from the challenge. I took this video in advance because we are going to be eating separately today, but lunch is, for me, the leftover spaghetti and meat sauce, and the Handsome One an egg cup. I'm taking this video in advance. This is Monday night supper because we are going to be eating separately. The Handsome One will be at the house and he'll have access to anything here, like if he wants to have bread and butter or toast or beet pickles or mustard pickles or any of those other free things that we have. I am going to be on the road. I will have a microwave, but I certainly won't have anywhere to be toasting anything or doing anything like that, so I am just taking the tuna helper. We are eating separately for lunch today, but I took this video in advance. For me, it is leftover chili, and for the Handsome One, an egg cup. He just has to prepare it. Tonight for supper, we are going to have barbecued sausages. We are going to dice these up, and we are going to roast them on the barbecue as well in some butter, and we are going to have some kind of vegetable. We haven't decided to go with it. I decided to make us each a little roasting tray. So in it, it has potatoes, carrots, and onions. I'm going to add margarine and a little bit of spices. I'm just going to choose from the spices that I have. And we'll get these right on the barbecue, and it'll be a simple supper of sausages and this. Don't think we're going to do anything else. I used garlic, or not garlic, dill. Dill. Everything's done cooking. Let's get it all plated up. Barbecue sausages and roasted vegetables and onions. Potatoes, carrots, and onions. Muffins for breakfast this morning. We are going to have grilled cheese for lunch today. We were getting to the point where we were worried that the bread wasn't going to last because, of course, when you're making homemade bread, there's no preservatives or additives in it. So we pre-sliced the bread and we popped it in the freezer so that if we wanted slices, we could just pull out the individual slices. I've pre-buttered all the bread. Yes, it's still frozen. We're doing this right from frozen. All right, now let's get the tops on. Whoa, I'm putting them on backwards. I gotta pay attention. Better attention. Shoot. Shoot. Looking good. This is looking awesome. Very excited. And I have a little bit of pizza sauce to dip mine in. The handsome one probably won't use that. We're having chili for supper tonight. I wanted to have chili cheese fries, potatoes, oil, and the handsome one just says he wants straight chili and the last of the homemade bread as toast. So I'm going to prepare some fries and get them in the air fryer. And I'm going to touch base with him just one more time to make sure that he doesn't want chili cheese fries. I sliced them in little circle discs. I'm going to add a tablespoon of oil, and let's get this started. This is chili cheese fries. This is chili topped with a bit of cheese, and the handsome one's going to have some toast to go with it. Muffins for breakfast today. I just want to comment that the muffins are working for us, and we both enjoy them a lot more than when I was preparing the oatmeal. Not that we don't like oatmeal, we just find this really fast and easy, and it is way more sustainable for us to ensure that we are eating a breakfast, having the stuff pre-prepared. Not that it took long to do the oatmeal, but these are ready, like just kind of grab and go, and that's what's working better for us. Smoothie for lunch today. For variety, I pulled out of the frozen mixed berry, I pulled out strawberries and raspberries, and we're going to use strawberry jam, half of the banana, and a little bit of yogurt, coconut milk, and maybe next smoothie I make, I will pull out blueberries and blackberries to go together. It just gives us a little bit of variety. It's all about the variety. This makes me happy. Strawberry, raspberry, banana smoothies. We are making a half loaf of bread. That is how much yeast we had left. And we didn't quite actually have enough for a half loaf, but we just threw in what we had and we will make do. Somehow we got this set just for the dough only, which wasn't my intent. I wanted this to bake, so I'm trying to bake this. There's a bake only setting on here, so it says it's baking it for 10 minutes is what it started at. I don't think that that's going to be enough. I'm not really sure how this is going to turn out. I should probably take the dough out and try to bake it in the oven. Tonight for supper, we are going to try this Marie Callender's cheesy chicken and broccoli frozen dinner. It is enough for two. I've got bread baking now, and I'm hoping that's going to be finished. We're going to try to make some garlic bread to go with this. That would be great. And we're going to get this in the oven on 375 for 55 to 60 minutes. We are really starting to accumulate some items now. let's get started. We've got potatoes. So I've got some of the, I'm going to say about half of the 10-pound potatoes left, one full package of these Marvelous Medleys, and about half of the second package. I have half of the package of frozen berries left, half of the muffin mix. I'm going to say it's at least half of the flour. We have some of the mixed frozen vegetables. I still have separated carrots, corn, beans, and peas. I have 3 half-pound packages of ground beef. This is cooked chicken, so a package of cooked chicken that we can use in some kind of a casserole. We have this whole package of cheese sausages. This is frozen chili. We have 2, I cut it in half, so 2 different meals we can get out of pork loin. This is 4 sausages. This is 3 sausages. We have 1 of the Marie Calendar frozen dinners left. I haven't even opened up the Harvest Crunch. We have 1 hamburger helper Italian herb, 1 white cheddar mac and cheese. There is some pasta sauce left in that container. We have, I'm going to say, half of the coconut milk, which is this one, left. And I don't think we have half of this one left, but there is some of both. You can see how much oil I used out of the container. There is lots of Tinkly Ted's hot sauce left. This is some potatoes cooked. Lots of, I can't believe it's not butter. And on the bottom is roasted vegetables that was left over from one of our meals this week. I have 2 full bags of onions, 2-pound bags of onions. And I have 3 onions, and there is a cut one in the fridge. I just didn't get it out. I have 3 eggs left. This whole package of bouillon, 1 package now of oatmeal. We used 1 of those packages when we were making bread. There are 2 packages of carrots. I did open 1 and I used 2 carrots. So 1 2-pound package and 1 2-pound package minus 2 carrots. We still have brown sugar. We still have cheese. This is baking powder. We have 2 peppers. We still have broccoli. And we have part of the hot honey smoky and 2 bananas. Pretty outstanding, considering that I know I keep saying this. We spent $84 total cash. We've eaten for 2 weeks, and this is what we have left over. So this kind of baked, but we're going to be getting ready to eat soon. So I took it out and I cut a couple pieces off of it. I've got them in here kind of finishing up. This is margarine, parsley, and a little bit of garlic. And then I'll mix this up, spread this on the garlic on the bread that I've got in the oven, and then we'll top it with cheese. Got the garlic spread on, and because the bread's hot, because I was finishing baking it in the oven, it's already melted. This looks pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with this. We'll see how it tastes. It's a lot of cheese. This looks pretty delicious. So the handsome one let me know it's not cauliflower, it's not chicken, rice, and broccoli. It's riced cauliflower, chicken, and broccoli. It smells really good. Looks pretty darn good. I'm excited. We did great. We had a really great week. We have lots of groceries left over, lots of things that we are bringing forward into week 3. The meals that we had were varied. I was really happy, and we learned a couple things. Earlier in the video, when we were talking about smoothies, I said we didn't really enjoy the coconut milk, and I probably wouldn't buy that again in the future, even if it was incredibly cheap. I changed my mind. We discovered what we didn't like was unsweetened coconut milk. As soon as I added in the jam and it had that little bit of sugar in the jam, it totally changed everything, and we liked the smoothies just fine. We also showed that you can pack your lunches, work outside of the home. That also works. You just need to plan it. We loved the chili. We loved the tuna casserole. The pizza was to die for. We just had lots of really great meals. And keep in mind that our total budget was $84. So we've eaten, 2 people have eaten for 2 weeks on $84, and that's how much food we have left. It's not amazing. It's planning.